And Mark Meadows joins us now from our sports desk. Tell us a little bit more about Formula E. It's quite hard to say after having said Formula One for so many years. Is it as fast or as noisy as Formula One?
It's definitely not as fast. I mean, the average Formula One car goes around about, well, top speed 225 miles per hour, while Formula E it's 137. Although they are racing on street tracks, so they are going to be a little bit slower, and it's definitely not as noisy. Formula One is much noisier.
Noise factors always put me off. How big, though, is Formula E as a business in comparison to the multi-billion-dollar business of Formula One?
It's tiny. I mean, we know how much Formula One is worth because obviously it's just been sold last month to Liberty Media Group. $4.4 billion it cost, but the enterprise value has been put at $8 billion. Formula E is nowhere near that. I mean, it's just to run one team for a season, there's a budget cap of $3.5 million. While building one Formula One racing car costs $10 million, and you could easily spend $50 million during the season. So there's a big, big difference. But it is growing.
But why does Mercedes want to get involved?
They basically want to dominate world motorsport, effectively. Okay. You know, if you're the Formula One champion, as they have been in the last 2 years, they're going to win it again this year. They basically want to show themselves across the whole spectrum of motorsport. But the reason why 2018 is crucial is because there's currently 10 teams in Formula E, and they're increasing it to 12. And also in 2018, they're hoping to change the rules, because at the moment in Formula E, you have a bit of a silly situation where the driver actually has to hop between two cars mid-race because the batteries aren't powerful enough to go around the entire track for the entire race.
Just pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah, in 2018, they're hoping that they can build electric cars that can last the entire length of the race.
Yeah, the battery development is the most interesting part, because that plays such a huge role in business at the moment in getting people into electric mobility in the first place. Will Mercedes actually make a return on its investment, do you think, in this case?
It's difficult to say, but of course it's not going to cost that much to get involved because they already have a Formula One team. They've already got Daimler, Mercedes back up behind them, so it's not going to cost a lot. But yes, electric mobility is what they're looking at. I mean, basically, Mercedes and Smart by 2025 are looking to bring out 10 different electric car models. And the reason they're getting involved in Formula E is they hope that the research and development they learn from being in Formula E will help them with electric cars. Because everyone who has an electric car knows the problem. You're on the Autobahn, you're running out of juice, there's no electric hookups, it's not like a petrol station, you're in a bit of bother.
Exactly. So it's all about branding, it's all about getting as much exposure as they can to their brand name. But will it actually sell the cars? Because that has been and remains to be the biggest problem for the E sector.
Exactly. I mean, we just don't know if it will. I mean, obviously, a Formula E racing car looks completely different to an electric road car, but it's putting the name in people's heads. And if you are world champion in Formula One, Formula E, then people think, oh, Mercedes really know what they're doing. We're going to go and get a Mercedes electric car. OK, Mark Meadows there from our sports desk on a series that could get a little quieter, if not slower.